I remember when global smartphone makers like Huawei were banking on low-end phones to boost their bottom line. But now, you know, I guess everyone does have a phone. They did get those low-end phones into everyone's hands. How much now are companies like Huawei having to bank on the premium market instead?
In fact, if you look at the last couple of years, it's the premium market which has been doing really well. Post-COVID, we saw the low-end segment, that was shrinking. A lot of the macroeconomic issues impacted the growth of smartphones in the low-end segment. But if you look at the premium segment, $1,000 and above, that's where all of these players, they have really excelled. You look at Samsung, you look at Apple, including Huawei, and a lot of these other Chinese players as well. They're all increasing their share, their volumes in the premium segment. So that's something to look out for.
But the thing is, we've got to the stage where any gains or any product launches, I mean, if you just take the Apple iPhone 15 launch recently as an example, they're just very incremental. They're not exactly earth-shattering. So what do you think is in the pipeline that smartphone makers can offer that is going to be the next big thing to be able to offer in a premium phone?
I think there are different views. I mean, in some ways we can say it's incremental, but if you look at the technology that's kind of going behind it, I would say it's kind of still growing leaps and bounds. And the amount of compute that's going into each of these smartphones, that's incredible. If you look at the latest launch from Apple, it's the 3-nanometer chip. They I think intentionally kind of focused on increasing more compute on their GPU to bring the hardware ray tracing. They increased their compute for their neural engine. So the idea behind all of this is to add more compute in a smaller form factor. There's a lot more you can do on a smartphone now, and as they're increasing the compute on GPU, the idea is to kind of bring the same level of quality which you get on the gaming consoles back to this smaller form factor as well.
Kiranjeet, I want to bring it back to this Mate 60 phone because that certainly caught a lot of attention, and as you just said, perhaps 3 or 4 years behind its competitors in terms of that 7-nanometer chip and being able to produce an advanced chip at scale with the limitations in being able to have access to some of the other Western technology. What does it tell us, A, about the efficacy of these US sanctions? Do you think the US would be satisfied with the fact that China would only be 3 or 4 years behind? And what does it tell us about the leaps and bounds that China is, I suppose, making in terms of its technological breakthroughs in the face of such pressure?
I mean, if the sanctions were not there, then Huawei would have been at a different spot than where it is now. So the sanctions definitely has had a role to play. If you go back to 2019, Huawei was kind of one of the leading premium smartphone players. Even right now, if you look at Huawei's share in the premium segment, they're still doing quite well, but that's primarily because they are really strong in China. But if you look beyond the China markets, their share has really shrunk to a very low volume. So the sanctions has had a role to play to where Huawei has come down to now, but at the same time Huawei does have a lot of support. They are they focus on their R&D spending. It has not gone down, so they don't want to kind of exit the game right now, I would say. So I think they are here in for the long run.